the lessons from history of Susan's story will live on. John Maguire, BBC News, London.
Well, we're joined now on the sofa by Noemie Lopian, whose parents survived the Holocaust, and she founded Holocaust Matters, which is an online educational resource. And it's remarkable to see that, isn't it? Technology. We sometimes talk about the negatives with technology, but using it in a positive way to really educate the next generation.
It's wonderful because it's a tool that the young people are used to, that the young people enjoy. So we've brought it forward into the present. And also, sadly, our survivors are getting older and fewer. Not many will be able to give testimony in the future anymore. And there they hear it directly from the survivor. And the other fantastic thing is that there is some sort of interaction, which is extremely important in Holocaust education. The pupils or the students or the viewers can ask questions. And the third thing is the immersion of it, that you're in that environment. And that begins to form what I call the bridge of empathy, the understanding what happens from one human being to another.
Noemie, tell us about today and how significant it is, and a little bit about your family.
Thank you. Today is extremely significant for me, more than ever. Yes, I am directly related to Holocaust survivors. My father was in 7 concentration camps over 4.5 years as a teenager and then into a young adult, and survived, emaciated, skeletal, liberated by the Americans. My mum, a little French girl, my dad was Polish, my mother French. They met at a bar mitzvah. But she was 5 at the outbreak of war, and she was questioned at gunpoint by the Gestapo, imprisoned daily together with her sister Helen and her younger brother Joey, and just for one reason alone, simply because they were Jewish. It's relevant today, even though it's 81 years since the liberation of Auschwitz, because the hate of people of Jewish faith and culture is on the rise. And why is that? I got asked just the other day by school children, why didn't other people stop it? Why couldn't you run away? Other people aren't stopping it because there is a climate of hate together with scapegoating people of Jewish faith and culture. And it's that blame, that insidious blame that gets fed today on our social media that says the Jews are evil, but in different ways. That thing feeds into the minds of people today. And that's extremely dangerous because that's reminiscent of the 1930s. In 1933, Germany only had a 0.7% of Jewish population. Today in Great Britain, Jewish people are just 0.5% of the British population. It's a very small minority, and yet the hate is so great.
And that's why you're going into schools,
yes,
and talking to young people today, yes, and educating them and telling them about your experience. I was fascinated to read that when you were growing up, when you were a child, though, your parents never told you what they themselves had been through.
I think, John and Sally, you'll both understand as we get older and we're parents ourselves, if we are, you don't want to hurt your children. And this was an undescribable trauma. Like our survivor said, she can't even find words to describe this evil. So no parent wants to impart hurt directly on the children. It was also a time, I found out in the 70s, when nobody spoke about it. And I think we didn't have post-traumatic stress disorder. We didn't have counselling. The only people that survivors could survive was building a future. But the past with them, not behind them.
How much of that trauma do you think the next generation still deals with now?
Well, I was always in denial. I don't like to say that we're victims. We have been victimised by the Nazis. But I think your second generation is traumatised and is hypersensitised, is very aware of what can happen again if we let hate go unchecked. And the worrying thing is that this was done by intellectual. At the Wannsee conference, over 40%, nearly half of the people there were doctors, either medical or intellectual.
You will be talking to young footballers this afternoon.
Yes.
Manchester United and Manchester City, under 14s, boys and girls. I guess that's what it's about, finding new audiences wherever you can find them.
Particularly young people. I always say Holocaust education is twofold, and I do this. Very important to our youth, so it's always the next year of the academic year of 14, 15-year-olds, and it's powerful to have our two strong teams in the city coming together on this subject. And it gives me a lot of hope to interact with young people. We always interact. And they ask questions and have an understanding of what can happen when we allow it to happen. We each have power to stop this.
Well, thank you for sharing your family story with us this morning and coming in to talk to us on World Holocaust Memorial Day. Thank you, Noemie.
Thank you.